For me, just to preface mine for this week, we had whispers, actually more than whispers. We had reporters saying that the Jays had signed Michael Brantley to a 3-year contract earlier this week.
Yeah.
Not just any reporters, we had Hazel May and Ken Rosenthal, two of the more reputable sources in the industry, and they quickly redacted that announcement, and moments later it was officially announced that he would be returning to the Astros on a 2-year deal. So I ask you this, or I say this, not for nothing, but sports reporting is off the deep end. It's got to change. I'm sick and fucking tired of people saying that they have to be right, they have to be first before they have to be right. They're always first, right? And that, of course, now listen, that's not just limited to sports media. That's all media. The last 4 years with Trump, the media has kind of been a circus because he's been a clown. So, of course, circuses follow clowns. But I think the integrity of media reporting and, just sticking to sports because that's our forte here is just, oh my God, it's abysmal. And so then when you saw like other signings coming through, last night, Jose Quintana got signed, a couple other guys got signed. I was like, you sure? Even the Brantley to the Astros, I was like, you sure? Like, now we got to wait. Like, just adding that gray area fucking ruins the whole thing. What the hell you do then?
Yeah.
Right? What's your take on that?
It's interesting. I think, so we kind of saw it with the George Springer thing, right? Like, you messaged me late at night and said, sources are saying that he signed with the Blue Jays, but I'm not seeing it from anyone reputable at that point. And I jumped online and I saw the exact same thing. There were a bunch of guys that didn't seem to like really work with any major sports stations or newspapers, and they said that late night, it's a lock. They don't have the details of the deal, but George Springer's going to the Blue Jays. And then what happened? He ended up signing with the Blue Jays. So I think that kind of led into what we saw the next day. I think that there were a bunch of reporters that did what they should have done, which is wait and be sure and be right and not be first. And then it backfired because now you had a bunch of people breaking the news that aren't even in the industry. So then the next day, there's whispers again from this underbelly of the MLB about Brantley signing with the Blue Jays, and then they don't wait to fact check it. They just post it because they don't want to be in a situation again where, they miss the boat on the Springer one. But I 100% agree. I think, we're in an age, though, where data and information is kind of king with the internet, right? Like, we see it in the NBA. Adrian Wojnarowski, I don't know if he's in the movie Little Nicky or not, and he sold his soul to the devil like Dan Marino, but that guy breaks every story and he's never wrong. When I see him, he could tweet that Joel Embiid itched his ass before the game, and I'd be like, fuck, man, you better make sure he washes his hands. And I don't need to fact check that. That is good as gold. But we don't have that in a lot of other sports. So, like, I find it very confusing. I'm like, how did he get all that insider information? He signed for, like, a bigger deal when he switched, like, who he was broadcasting for than, like, a lot of professional athletes do. And I don't have the answer to that, but I 100% agree. I think that you have to be worried about being right and then worry about getting that information out in a proper way. And ideally, you can do both.
Well, yeah, but
But that's not always the case.
The problem with this situation here is that Ken Rosenthal is kind of the Woj of MLB. Like,
right.
We have Jeff Passan too, who's quickly. I mean, this actually might have supplanted Jeff Passan as the real Woj of MLB, as the Passan of MLB. He's more reputable than Ken Rosenthal from this sort of one small incident. And my question then comes: the kid who broke the George Springer deal, he writes for a small blog, Blue Jays Nation, I think they're called, and he broke it from a barber's chair. He posted a picture of himself getting a haircut and said George Springer. Yeah. So tell me why this kid who probably makes peanuts, or if anything at all, can break a story before these very highly paid Fox and Sportsnet and ESPN or whatever reporters. That's wrong to me, and I think there needs to be some sort of, I don't know. I don't even know how you fix that. I'm not even gonna pretend to know.
Yeah, I don't really have like a firm answer on how to fix this at some point. I think it's, like luck of the draw. Like, that kid could have had one friend like at the Blue Jays that happened to get information maybe that they shouldn't have early. Mm-hmm. Maybe he, I think it's like more consistently, like that's the difference between like major reporters and small time is like they consistently can get that level of information. I mean, I think, like I said, information is the key to success right now. So it's like, even if the sport jerks decide that they're going to start making moves and we're going to start talking to Blue Jays brass, like say a couple years down the line, that networking and those relationships that lead to you breaking stories, and that consistency is kind of what separates, the pros from the amateurs, basically.